Last week, I lost one of my biggest clients, and I want to tell you exactly what happened because I think it might help you. Whether you're a freelancer right now, or whether you're just thinking about becoming one, or whether you've just had one of those days where everything feels a little bit uncertain. This is not a video where I pretend I have it all figured out. This is a video to show you what happens when you don't, and what you can do about it. So, last week, I had a meeting with this client in the morning. It was a client that I had already for over 3 years. And we had just upgraded our package together. So more work on my end, which meant more money. And I genuinely thought I was set for another year. And then the meeting started, and something fell off. And some seconds later, it was confirmed. They were letting me go. I was sitting in my office. It was a really nice day. I remember this because it was the first thing that we talked about in the meeting. But after this news, I just didn't know what to do. I kept smiling through the whole meeting, but as soon as we ended, I froze. I didn't cry, I didn't start making plans, I just froze. And then I did the only thing that I could think of in that moment. I put on my shoes and I went for a walk. Just me, the sun, the good weather, and a head full of thoughts. At least it's sunny, so I'm happy. I thought a lot about making this video or not. We'll see if I post it. So today I had a meeting with one of my regular clients, one of my biggest clients. And at the beginning of the meeting, they told me that they had to stop working with me as they had to do some financial adjustments in the company. So yes, of course, we had a really good relationship. I was not expecting this. Normally when me and clients part ways, normally it's because we are not a good fit for each other. But here it was a big surprise, and I feel so uncomfortable talking in front of people right now. So I was just passing by an old couple walking their dog. As one of my biggest clients, it was a big chunk of my business, and I've been feeling completely lost the whole day. I've been spiraling in my head about what I was going to do. I normally advise people to not have a big client and have more than one client, and I do have more, but this one was a big one, so it makes a big difference at the end of the month. I came to take a walk to think about life. I'm not shopping. I came to go get some fabric for my gymnasts. They need some new clothes for their routine, so I came to pick that up. I'm feeling much better now than I was 5 hours ago, but it's just to show you an unfiltered part of a freelancer life. It is normal that your days are not always good days, and you have to believe in yourself, believe in your business, and things will get better, I hope. At least I have a wedding to pay in a few months. We just bought a house. So I guess I'm feeling really stressed and anxious, but I'm sure that tomorrow will be a better day. So have a nice day. And here's what's interesting about moments of panic. When you strip everything away, the to-do list, the client messages, the performance of being okay, you start to hear yourself think. And what I heard walking in the sun that day was not just, I need to replace this income fast. It was something older than that, something I'd been pushing down for a while. I was tired, not the kind of tired that the good night's sleep fixes. The kind of tired that builds up slowly, over months, until one ordinary Tuesday, it just sits on your chest. I was constantly snoozing my alarm. When before, I always felt super excited in the morning. I found myself taking days to complete easy tasks. I had been a social media manager for almost 7 years. I started in 2018 when it was still a new role, and not that many people were doing it. Back then, everybody wanted to know the social media girl. It felt really exciting and very creative and free. But the role grew and I grew. And somewhere along the way, we grew in different directions. And can I be honest for a second? Burnout for me didn't look like what I expected. I thought burnout looked dramatic, like a breakdown, like a clear before and after. But my burnout looked like snoozing my alarm 6 times. And I hate snoozing. But slowly, at some point, mornings started feeling impossible. It looked like having no energy by 2 p.m., like eating when I wasn't hungry and going shopping when I didn't need anything, just to feel something that wasn't stress. And the worst part, I kept going, because I had reasons to keep going. A wedding coming up in the end of the year, a house that we just bought. So I told myself, just a little longer, just get through with this. And then I lost this client, and just a little longer stopped being an option. When I got home from that walk, I sat down, not to panic, but just to take a closer look at my business, and everything that was working and what wasn't, and to make me start thinking about what I actually wanted. I was actually a decent social media management.
I want to be really clear about this.
I knew more than most, I could help my clients, and I wasn't bad at my job, but I had no passion left for it. Every time someone asked me for social media strategy advice, I felt a quiet dread, like I was asked to perform something I'd stopped believing in. The industry changed so much. Trends changing overnight, best practices rewritten every few months. And to be truly great at social media management, to be the person clients deserve, you have to love that. You have to want to chase it. I didn't anymore. And then I thought about the things that have made me feel alive lately. In 2024, I started doing some UGC work. And I loved the creating part, the filming, the storytelling, the editing. I had been creating videos since I was a kid. Travel vlogs, birthday videos for friends, little films about nothing and everything. That was always there. I just never thought it could be the thing. At the beginning of 2025, I did a video editing course. Not for a client, not for the money, just because I wanted to do it. And I loved it. I felt like myself doing it. So last week, after losing my biggest client, I made a decision. Instead of panicking and looking for another social media management client to fill the gap, I was going to use this space to finally make the shift I'd been putting off. I was going to become a video editor. Not just any video editor. I want to work with women who create educational content on YouTube. Clean edits, thoughtful storytelling, the kind of work that makes a video feel easy to watch even when the topic is complex. So let me tell you what I did in these last few days, because I want this to be also useful for you. First thing, I gave myself one day to feel it. Just one day. The walk, the thinking, the sitting with discomfort. I didn't force myself to be productive. I didn't open my laptop and start sending pitches out of fear. Second, I looked at my portfolio. What had I made that I was proud of? What showed the direction I wanted to go? I had more than I thought. The editing course, some personal projects, samples I've made just for fun, and some others that I did for my social media management clients. Third, I got clear on who I wanted to work with. Not any client who will pay me, a specific person, a specific type of content, a specific aesthetic. I had been too vague for too long, saying yes to whatever came my way, and this was part for why I felt this way. Fourth, I prepared new samples, specifically for the work I wanted to do, not the work I'd been doing.
It's out with the old and in with the new.
I'm sharing all of this because I want this channel to be the channel I wish I had. When I started freelancing in 2018, there was still a bit of taboo around it, like it was something people did when they couldn't get a proper job. I had to figure out almost everything on my own. There wasn't much out there for women like me. Women in their late 20s, early 30s trying to build something that fit the life they actually wanted. Not the hustle, not the rise and grind, just a good life, a sustainable business. Work that you do because you love it, not because you're trapped. That is called being a soft entrepreneur. I don't have everything figured out, but I'm going to share everything as I build it. The good and the hard and the honest. If you're watching this and something in you recognizes what I described, the burnout, the going through the motions, the feelings that there has to be another way, I want you to know there is. And you don't have to lose a client to find it. You can just decide. If you want to follow this journey, subscribe. If you want to know exactly why I left social media management, check this video next. See you there!